Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Last episode, Data completed a lot of the Explorer's Crypt, but he hasn't completed it entirely, so let's finish exploring the Explorer's Crypt here in this episode. We have our Rocks Cape equipped, which is going to allow us to jump over large pits. There's going to be quite a few of them that we're going to have to jump over on our way to get to the boss key. We have this room that reminds me of Star Tropics, the first Star Tropics. Remember Mr. Tumnus? We were going to get the second cube. There was that one area that had all these staircases. You had to make your way through the staircase maze to get to the second cube. Well, this one is a little less complicated because it's much smaller. But the same thing applies. You gotta take a staircase that leads you somewhere else. And then follow the staircase around, and we'll try to make our way up to the staircase in the upper right there. Now we're going to make our way down to the staircase in the lower right to get to the boss. But in order to get to the boss, we need the boss key. In order to get the boss key, we're going to need a regular key. So we're getting the regular key here first. I took a little shortcut there with the Rocks Cape, so I avoided most of those spinners. And then for that last spinner, you're slightly hovering in the air a little bit that you can slide right down onto that block that you need to get to. So that's an easy way to solve that puzzle there. Now to solve this puzzle and get the key to drop on that blue tile over there, all you have to do is defeat all the enemies. Doesn't matter how you defeat them. You can use Sensi to draw the skeletons off into the pit. You can hit them into the pit. Don't matter, your choice. I just jumped around and knocked them off. Luckily, we don't have to go through this room again. The long way, we just go over the right and push that block out of the way. Now we have a statue puzzle here. You see there's one statue, two statues, and three statues, and buttons by those statues. The number of statues basically tells you the order that you have to hit them in. So we want to hit the button that has one statue on it, then the two, and then the three. You're going to have to use the Pegasus seeds to get to the number one. And I'm just going to let the Pegasus seed run out here. No pun intended. And then I can just tap the A button to get the two and the three, because they're right after each other. Yeah, if you just hit the button once instead of twice, you just make a regular jump as if you had the Rock's Feather. Now I can hit this button, and we got a red trampoline that sends us up 2 floors. You saw below the floor, there was some orbs. There's 4 orbs. It's a color puzzle. We have to turn all the orbs except for the upper left here red. And this owl is basically going to tell us that through a little cryptic clue. So let's get on our mystery seeds to throw it on this guy. Below me red, my right red. Only I shall shine blue. So basically what he's saying is that one of the orbs has to shine blue, and the others to the right and below it have to be red. So the only orb that can be blue to fulfill that those clues is the upper left there. Because by saying to my left red, we know that the orb has to be on the right, and when he says below me red, we know that has to be the orb on the top. Do that puzzle, you open the door, defeat the enemies in the room, and we get the boss key. This dungeon, the boss, is the final one from The Legend of Zelda that we haven't met yet. So if you've played that game and you've been keeping track of the bosses from that game that we defeated so far, you would know that the boss here is going to be Gleeok, the multi-headed fire-breathing dragon. Now in the first Legend of Zelda, you ran into a 2-headed Gleeok as the boss of level 4. In the middle of the dungeon 6, there was a 3-headed Gleeok, and the boss of level 8 was a 4-headed Gleeok. We're lucky here, we're only going to run into a 2-headed Gleeok, but he has some new attacks. Shoots fire in a triangle-shaped cone. Shoots fire that explodes and blows up in like an 8-way trajectory. And after you defeat the 2 heads, well, the body comes alive like a little zombie and charges us. We use the rock feather when fighting the zombie because when the zombie dragon jumps and lands, it shakes the ground and it stun locks Data. We got the Seed of Life. Life begins anew when birds carry this, the Seed of Life, to new lands. Looks like a cherry. So it reminds me of Roy and Ludwig Koopa. The Koopalings in Worlds 5 and 7, Super Mario Bros. 3. When they jumped, they landed and they shook the ground and stunned Mario. So we got another Mario, something from Mario games put in these Zelda games. So the Mako tree is getting more power thanks to the 7th essence we just gave it. But despite the new power that he got, he can't tell where the last essence is. Well, it's pretty easy to tell where the essence is going to be. It's going to be in that section that we haven't visited yet. In that section that we haven't visited, I showed off in an earlier episode how you can use the Pegasus seeds and the Rock's Feather to get into the area, but it's really hard. You can't really cheese the game. Data, be worried, it's the final essence of nature. So now at the Rock's Cape, though, it's really easy to get there, so we're going to head up there. But before we do that, we're going to head up to the top of the Mako tree, because there's going to be another Gasha seed up here. We're really running low on Gasha seeds. I'm going to have to get a bunch of Gasha seeds between episodes. Not this episode, but after I get the final Essence of Nature. We got the Gasha seed planted in a patch of soft soil. And I still need to get some level 4 and level 5 rings. So I'll have to farm them from the up in the rooms, that tree up there. The best place probably to get Gasha seeds is down in Subrosia, because they're only 20 cent seeds and 100 ore chunks. We're buying Gasha seeds up here in the overworld. It is 300 rupees at Seer's place. So it's much easier to go down to Subrosia, give them buy the seeds down there, and then return back to the overworld, farm some scent seeds from the scent seed tree, and then head back down and get the Gasha seeds that way. So like I said, this is the only tree. This tree is the easiest tree. It's one of 2 that can get the level 4 and 5 rings from. Level 1 through 3 rings you can get from Maple encounters, and you can get them from that treasure chest mini game in the secret shop. It's now opened. The member card when we bought it all out. Another thing that makes it easier right now, at least for my character, for Data, to get the ore chunks necessary to buy the Gasha seeds is one of the rings that I have gives me double ore chunks. There's a ring that gives you double rupees. If you get that, then that's really helpful for getting rupees. Also, it's going to be really helpful for getting one of the rings, the 10,000 rupee ring. When you get 10,000 rupees, then Vasu will give you that ring to appraise. So let's go back here and get some scent seeds. Nope, the only tree that gives us scent seeds. And now I'm going to head up to the rooms. I'm going to explore them. These rooms we're going to find out is basically where the Temple of Seasons used to be before it fell down into Subrosia. And to the left here first, I'm going to go over there. is going to be where Onyx's castle is. But we can't get into it, because if we try to get into it, this darkness pushes us back. When we got the Gasha seed on the Mako tree, there's that little orb that was being built. Power of darkness won't let you go any further. That is the giant Mako seed, and that is what we're going to need to dispel that darkness and allow us forward. But it can't be fully grown until after we get all the essence of nature. So that's the old man from the original Legend of Zelda, the equivalent, saying you can't enter those without the Triforce can't enter Dungeon 9. Because here's Maple. We'll have to hit her a few times because, like I said, I still need to get some level 1, 2, and 3 rings. Alright, I'll remember this. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll get max out my Gasha seeds from down in Subrosia. Then for OCD I'll max out my ore chunks. And then I'll come up here, plant a Gasha seed in the rooms. Then farm Maple encounters by killing those lifelikes. Then go back, farm the tree, go back down, kill some more lifelikes, farm Maple again, and just keep doing that little loop. If I had to go on base, I wouldn't trade it for 100 fish. I had to throw on that guy in Sunken City who traded it for 1 fish. The reason I'm going to Goron Mountain is there's a ring up here. We couldn't get it earlier because we couldn't jump this pit. And now we have the Rock's Cape, so we can. Day's just gonna take a little damage there. Got another ring, we'll get it appraised later. That 10,000 rupee ring, any type of rupees that you collect count. So even rupees that you get, like when Vasu buys a redundant ring off of you that you already have. So we're gonna want to. So selling rings can also get us things. And we want to sell have at least 100 rings appraised, because that gives us another ring. Vasu gives you a ring when you get your 100th ring appraised. So all that maple farming and stuff like that, and the tree farming, gives us rings and potentially more of that money. So this is where the Temple of Seasons used to be, before, like I said, it fell. So we see we have to turn it to summer there to get up that area. Now, I'm going out of my way here. We don't really have to do this. Basically, the way you're supposed to go is over to the left, but I'm just going to kind of show things off here a little bit. But we have to get back and down to the underground from here. And that tree there, see these trees, they're blocking that entrance into the temple, and inside that temple there, so you can't approach it from the sides. You can't walk behind the trees. Will take us back down to Subrosia, where the last dungeon is. It's a throwback to Link's Awakening. The last dungeon was in the upper left corner of the map. This dungeon is the last dungeon is going to be in the upper left corner of the Subrosia. It's not going to be total rock though. So there's another portal you gotta go down to. That's not the main portal you want to go into though, but it's an important portal that you can only reach if you turn it into fall here. Because over here, the screen up from here is going to be, there'll be a whole bunch of holes. And even with the Rock's Cape, you couldn't navigate these holes. Basically, where that S is, that's all holes. So you have to have fall so you can at least fill in the holes. And then from there, you can head into that portal, Subrosia. First, we'll change it to winter. That'll allow the snow to accumulate. And there were some pits over here that we saw. The snow will cover those pits. We still have to jump these two pits, but the snow covers these ones here and allows us down to this portal here. push this, get rid of this rock, and then that will open up that way forever now. And we see this guy, he's throwing a bunch, just shoots off huge fireworks. He's throwing a whole bunch of stuff in there. He throws random items in there. He's got a map, he threw some flippers, a ring. Too bad you can't stand there and catch rings that he throws. That would be a good way to get rings. But we throw a bomb in there, and that causes these volcanoes to explode. And their eruption is going to clear out a bunch of things here in the old Temple of Seasons. Mainly, it's going to clear out all these trees that were blocking the entrance inside. Creates a bunch of hazards there as well. You did it, cool! Alright, well let's head back up into the overworld, and we can finally finish navigating the previous location for the Temple of Seasons, and get down to the last dungeon. And also, right now we can get the last piece of heart. Just have to do a little bit of jumping around here. Oops, don't fall in the lava. That's okay, I took a little damage because remember, every time you get a piece of heart, you get your life filled. And we get an extra bonus because now we got, that's our 4th piece of heart. It gives us our final heart container from a piece of heart. We can still get another heart container from the level 8 dungeon, and then if you do a link game, you can get 2 additional heart containers. You start with if you do a link game, you start with an extra heart container, and then you can pull an extra heart container over from the other game for one of the secrets. So we turn it into summer, create those vines, and you can climb up and go to that cave. Up the line out the lava. Just be careful up here. Just a single tap. Double tap to get there. Double tap here. And there's the cave we want to go into. Cut down these bushes, and as you see up there, right in the middle, there is a magnetic glove. And so that's how we're going to get across this pit here. And there's another one to the right. So we pull ourselves across. Pull ourselves across again here. Luckily that thing didn't knock us out of the way. Just like a little mini cave thing to go here. And it's going to take us back and forth. We're going to like head out and then we're back in the temple. So there's a few little like caves that we got to do like this, but nothing complicated. Pick up any rupees we can. I want that 10,000 rupees ring. Now, Data's brother Maverick, he got the red joy ring that gives double rupees. So he'll have an easier time getting rupees than Data will, but Data will get a bunch. You could go up to the top there, that's the way you should go, but we can get back up there, jump in this little pit here with the rocks cape. I just want to come down this way because I wanted to, cut down all the bushes. That's been like a sub-goal of mine. It can be a retro achievement. It sounds like a terrible retro achievement. There's a lot of games that have achievements now, like newer games that you unlock if you do certain things in them. So somebody made a website, Retro Achievements, where they made up achievements for older games that didn't have achievements. Just a way to keep score for people who are interested. But sometimes that's some really weird ones, like that would be a weird one, probably like cut down every bush or destroy every pot in Zelda Oracle Ages or Oracle Seasons. So we take another warp to Subrosia. I stepped back in here, but I'm just going to show off basically the completed map. So yeah, basically the map is almost complete except for those 2 areas that were there. They take us to Onyx Castle that we can't get to. And now this is going to complete the Subrosia map. This is the only one square we haven't been to. And we saw this one a little earlier. But there was eyes on it. They basically chase you around if you like move to the left and right, you'll see. But that's the entrance to level 8, the Sword and Shield dungeon. Sword and Shield maze. And that's what we'll start exploring in our next episode. Take care. Thanks for following along. Have a good one. See you then. Bye.